This is J Bass, one half of Bulletproof Tiger. I'm chilling with David Ion, the founder and creator of People Like Me. We're going over their upcoming spring line. Behind every fashion designer, there's a mad, crazy, creative person lurking. Are you crazy?
Yes, absolutely.
Take me and our audience to the beginning of People Like Me. What made you decide to have your own clothing line?
I graduated from Seton Hall University in May of not 2009. It's not this year anymore. We're now in 2010. And I didn't have a job. I didn't think I was going to get a job in this economy. So instead of fighting to take a job from someone else, I figured I'd just make one myself. And that's kind of how People Like Me started. I try to think of the type of thing that I like doing all the time, and I went to school for graphic design, but I always come back to designing shirts, and it used to be just for me personally, and now it kind of has morphed into an actual company.
Now, every t-shirt so far that we have seen has some sort of saying or point to be made. What are the things that you're trying to communicate to your audience?
I think with each shirt, I know a lot of brands and companies have a very particular style and a very particular way of doing things, and things that they will say with their products and things that they won't say with their products. For our shirts, my main point is to kind of treat each shirt as its own entity. And of course, the styles are going to be similar because, it's me doing all of them. So that's going to seep in there automatically, so I don't really have to force that. So with each shirt, it's its own, piece of art in a way that you get to wear all the time.
All right. And where did the inspiration come from for this? What the hell were you thinking when you were designing like the shirt with being, a shit talker?
Well, that shirt has a funny story. I actually, I think it was a year ago now that PerezHilton.com was having a contest, and the only requirement for this contest was to have the saying "I love being a shit talker," and then anything else was fair game. And I thought that was such a cool concept because I know he's such a character already that I thought it would be really cool to make a shirt for it. So I did a design for them, and it didn't end up winning, which is okay because obviously I'm releasing it on my own anyway. But it was really just kind of poking fun at what he does and how he sees himself and how we see him, and the whole play with that.
Mm-hmm. Now your website, peoplelikemeshop.com, which will be hopefully opening on Monday, is an artistic or imaginative website. Is it more of an art site than a fashion site where people can buy things?
I would say it's more of an art site, especially since I can't sew. I'm definitely more of a graphic designer that just happens to be using shirts as a medium instead of posters or packaging. And I wanted the site to be just as fun, as interesting as the stuff that we're selling. I wanted it to kind of be an experience and a place that people will come back to.
Mm-hmm. Describe your personal style and how that has affected your brand.
Well, my personal style pretty much is the brand. It's ridiculous, and it's bold colors, and loud, and a little bit obnoxious, and, the brand is so much of myself that it's really hard to draw the line. Like, some of these shirts are ideas that I had for years that I just never had the time to do. And all of these shirts I pretty much made for me. Like, if it's not something that I would love to wear by myself, then I'm not going to make it.
Mm-hmm. Now, rarely clothes that the average person buys or wears is considered art. Describe your philosophy on the art of fashion.
The art of fashion. I think there's a lot of interesting things that are happening now in fashion. There are a lot of trends, but I think it's like that with anything. And so hopefully it won't be a trend. Hopefully it'll be something bigger than a trend. But as far as fashion goes, I think that that luckily there are all kinds of people pushing to do new things, and I think there's more of an eye on fashion now than there has been in the past. Like, you know, shows like Project Runway, Top Model, you know, all of that kind of contributes to how much more aware people are of what they're wearing, and you know, people know now that like what you wear is a very big representation of who you are, and a lot of the shirts that, you know, I've designed are, you know, the shirts that are me that I haven't seen anywhere else. Like, no one could make those because they're not me. So hopefully people can identify as much as I do.
Now, how easy was it to start your own clothing line?
Not at all. Since I only just graduated and unemployed, there was a lot of saving money, a lot of, you know, kind of being a hermit and being like, you know, a mad scientist in the basement that's doing all these things and no one really knows what's going on. And a lot of sacrifices that you have to make, but, you know, I have to just keep reminding myself that it's all gonna hopefully pay off, and, you know, it's enough. You know, fame and fortune is great, but it's really, I just want to do something that I can be happy with.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you're a fashion designer, oftentimes you have to focus on the future and be forward thinking. Where do you see this fashion line, People Like Me, in the future?
The future of People Like Me. Well, I would love to do different types of clothing. You know, move from shirts to hoodies and jackets, and, you know, maybe pants and sneakers would be fun. But aside from that, I would really love the company to be involved in more event-oriented things, as far as, you know, collaborating with musicians and putting on shows and things like that, because, you know, I'm not only interested in design, I'm not only interested in t-shirts, I'm interested in all kinds of art and all kinds of, every kind of way that you can be inspired. I kind of want to help put that out to the fans, I guess, if we end up having fans.
Thank you, David Ayan, for your time. This is J Bass signing off.